It's Easter! It's Easter Friday! Yeah! Woo! I don't know what country you're in, but it's not even Easter where I am. I'm speaking at church tomorrow, and I don't look forward to it. No, I do look forward to it. I just wanted to see your reaction. I can't see your reaction. But I first want to talk about Jesus loving us on the cross. And we will often say that I've accepted Jesus into my life, into my heart. But very often we don't even bother to think about the fact that it was the Holy Spirit we received after Jesus departed. And now that I've said that, you're like, it's obvious. But it's something where I just want to make it clear. Jesus went through hell for us. He didn't go through some easy time where some lamb wandering through a field. It was not nice. I can't say I would want to be in his position that he put himself in for us. You can tell I almost stumbled over my words, but I didn't. So, I just want to say that your siblings could matter a lot to you. They do for me, but I often don't treat them like it. For you watching this, you might have very different experiences with your siblings, if you do have siblings. For some, you might have had negative times, and that is the overall encompassing belief as to who they are as a person. Maybe that's right, but I just want to say your perspective is often wrong, but that isn't such a bad thing, right? Let's say I threw this mug, right? Let's take this mug for example, right? It has so many pens in it, I can't put my finger in there if I tried. Well, let's say I threw this behind me over my shoulder, and it spread all over the place, and somehow mid-air, all the pens opened and drawed Mozart's symphony lyrics, or whatever the notes are, all over the wall. That would be stupid, right? It'd have to be a kid's movie for that to happen. But we often assume that we are so right in what Jesus has for us, and that we just are following his plan. For me, for example, I always pray, God lead me. You should take control of this, God, I'm giving it to you. And I pray this every single day. But it's not like he just immediately goes, Daniel, thank you so much. I'm going to take this and handle it all so well for you that you won't even know what to do with yourself. Put your feet up, sip on that water because you refuse to have juice because you're a healthy guy, and just let me take care of it. No, I have no idea what I'm doing. I've prayed for the situation to get better. And I hope you pray for your situation to get better, as we all should. I'm sure the word says that. I'll have that on screen, that we should pray for situations. An example is in the Lord's Prayer. It's, Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. It's not like you have to put up with a bad circumstance. In the prayer, Jesus literally says this is how you should pray. And most of the things are asking for things. The first thing is worshiping God, and then asking for stuff. And I'm explaining that because we are often afraid to ask people for things, right? Because we assume that our life is going to be some easy thing, especially if we're Christians and we wanted to give it to God. Or if we are the depiction of what we generally call lukewarm, because we believe that just means not on fire for God, and just somewhere in the middle. But that's not actually the full definition. I can have that kind of on screen now, if you do want the full context of that to some extent. I can't exactly give it all, just to save you time and having to do research. But it's good that we don't know what we're doing, right? Because we can get passionate about something but have no idea. Like if a kid runs up to you and saying, I love cheese! And you go, little Timmy, cheese gives you cancer. That's terrible. Why would you say that to little Timmy, you monster? Nah, I shouldn't have called you a monster. But it's funny to see that we think our life will turn out so perfectly. Jesus knew why he came, right? And for 30 years or more, 32 years or something, he was simply preparing, being a carpenter, putting in the work with wood. A lot of us today are afraid of working. We're workophobic or something like I was. But I'm just trying to say that it's good for us to try and do things when we don't know what we're doing. Loving your siblings is an important aspect of it, even if they suck. Sometimes your siblings suck, sometimes, and that's okay. What are you going to do about it? You all came from the same place. You all know Perfect Pete, okay? So, I don't know why I'm saying that. But a main point that I hope you came here for, I don't even know what I'm gonna call this video, but I felt to yap at the camera for a bit with these 3 notes. Can you read it? I don't know if you can read it. I'll probably have to reverse it because it's like front-facing camera, like that kind of deal. So, yeah. Jesus loved us so much that he stayed here for about 30-something years, and for 30 of those years he was preparing. He was doing something not knowing exactly. Maybe he did know the exact day that God was going to call him and say, okay, now's the time for you to turn water into wine, time to do this miracle and reveal all this stuff. Jesus was preparing for a while. I can't say if it says in the Word that Jesus knew exactly the day and the hour that everything was going to happen, but I know for a fact that Jesus prayed in the garden when the culmination of everything that he came to earth for was coming to be, him sacrificing himself for us on the cross. He still prayed, and he really didn't want to go do it. He was swishing blood saying, Lord, if possible, please take this cup from me. Because he knew it was going to be bad. He knew it would be bad. If you live in that time and you knew those kinds, and you lived under that kind of rule and government, you aren't sheltered from the way people are disciplined or put to death. You see it. He knew what was going to happen to him. And that's why in Exodus, I believe it was Exodus, they had to look to the tree and be healed after they had disobeyed God. I forgot the exact context. I might have that on screen. I'll have it on screen. I'm committing to that now. Dang it. But Jesus loved us so much that when he was called to do certain things, and eventually coming to the point where he was teaching and fulfilling prophecies, and, more prophecies technically, because he had already fulfilled some. But Jesus did love us so much, right? It's not just something where he would pick and choose. I've unfortunately heard the parable of the farmer sowing seeds misinterpreted, that Jesus just came for those who wanted to hear it. Jesus came for the lost and the ones who wanted to hear it alike. It wasn't something where he decided, these donuts are a bit burnt. I'm not partaking in that bread. No pastry for me. No, it was, he just decided to speak. The crowd would listen, some would yell and want to stone him, but he would say what needed to be said. And I'm not saying you gotta yell at people saying, you stinky, go take a shower with your sin. Nah. It's important that we love people like Jesus loved us. And that might sound a bit lovey-dovey, because Christianity does have a bit of a rap for that. But it is very important that even if you don't like someone, you gotta still treat them with love. And love comes with compassion and sympathy, and actually committing to something, not just believing something. I could believe, okay, let's say somebody had a son, and that father loved their son, objectively. How would the father prove it? He would do stuff. He would provide food for the kid, saying, I love you so much, here's a roof over your head, food on the plate, stuff in the pantry, help yourself, got some muesli bars and Weet-Bix, I got you. He wouldn't just say, I love you, son, go sit outside in the rain, and then just give him the boot and go and send him flying. That's not how this works. Because when it says in the Word, for God so loved the world, that he gave his one and only son, he backed up that love. He backed up all those things that he had been saying for so long by giving his son Jesus for us, providing us with a salvation and a means of going toward him, tearing the veil between us and him, so that we can actually go to him instead of having to do some big sacrifice or ritual. That would be that would suck. That wouldn't be great, honestly. So loving people is important. Don't treat your brothers and sisters like eggs, even if they are eggs. And Jesus is really cool. Yeah, bye. Hope you have a good day. Yeah.